It's all just a dream. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Bill. This is not trying to stand, but continuing to stand Steven Universe with another discussion and review and analysis and reaction of the latest episodes of Steven Universe Future. This is going to be episode 15, Mr. Universe, and episode 16, Fragments. That was a lot. We're just going to go in order. Mr. Universe. In Mr. Universe, we learn a little bit more about Steven's dad, Greg, more specifically his childhood. Also, we remember the fact that Steven has grandparents, and we've never met them, and we still haven't met them. While going through Greg's childhood home in the middle of their road trip sabbatical in the van that drives into Hearts, kind of mirroring the overcorrection theory between generations, we learned that Greg was very stifled, very controlled as a child, and that's why he's such a rebellious, free-spirited, sensitive, feelings first, solve it with, making Steven ice cream, talk about it with me, champ, which are all good qualities to have, but I feel like we kind of learned about the overcorrection between the generations, and I kind of admire that angle to it. You need a balance of the two. Go to the doctor and go to school and have structure. Like, those are things that are important. Some, people need that, but you also need, to be encouraged to grow and flourish in the things that you're interested in and the things that you like, and it's interesting to see the extremes of the two. It's the give you what I never had kind of mentality. I feel like we touch on that overcorrection when looking at the parallels between Greg's traditional suburban life and then Steven's very untraditional life.
Everyone's been warning me on Twitter that I'm gonna be upset. Thank you for thinking of me. Steven Universe Future.
Here you go, Snowball.
Inverse pie a la mode.
Cream a la pie.
Ah!
But everything changed when I hit the road. You've seen
Give him the van. That's not fair. That's not fair. No loving father-son harmonies, please. You guys are fighting dirty.
How did you become Mr. Universe?
You know what? I can show you.
What?
Good. No one's home.
Wait,
What?
whose house is that? Dad?
Well, I mean, we don't know anything about Steven's grandparents. Is this his house? Please let this not be a breaking and entering thing.
Dad, you're breaking and entering.
I just got
Thank
to learn
you.
one thing.
It's his house. It's his parents' house. Oh my god, it is.
It's like a snack for your nose.
Oh, Steven.
Dad!
Steven, you didn't figure that out?
Your house?
Not mine. My parents.
Your hair, it's so short.
When's the other shoe gonna drop?
Everything music was off limits, which is why I had to...
What, did you live in Footloose?
This is the CD with the song that made me who I am.
Oh, damn.
Welcome to the party, Mr. Universe.
Oh.
I wish I could have grown up in a house like that.
No, you don't.
Maybe your parents weren't so bad.
Oh, no.
This was right here.
Steven, I couldn't...
I grew up in a van. I never went to school. I'd never been to the doctor until 2 days ago.
Steven!
My problem is I'm a universe. Watch out.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank goodness. The van seemed worse.
Oh.
I'll get through this and... Look,
Oh.
I'm glad you can tell me anything. You know you can tell me anything, right? You're having a hard time.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Well, shit. I mean, it's valid. That's kind of devastating, but it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if we're gonna have an episode exploring the reality of Steven's physical injuries, and I guess we also have to have a reality about that, too. You don't have to ruin all the fun from the show. I was scared Greg died, and yeah, some of it's a little hard to take in. We'll talk about it in the studio room. Cut back to the good lighting.
I love that Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords, the not David Bowie influence, and considering the Flight of the Conchords has a song about David Bowie. I just think it's a beautiful parallel there. Definitely not by accident. I also noticed that the cover of the album that Greg holds almost looked like for a second it was very White Diamond-esque, especially the eyes. Could just be a character design thing, but I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. That one was a little hard for me. I feel like I'm still kind of processing it. I think it illustrates, that generation overcorrection that I mentioned, but also I think it's the harsh reality of people having flaws. Nobody being perfect, people making mistakes. I think we needed to have a way for Stephen to also rebel against his father. We had him lash out against the gems. We have him lashing out against his friends. He sees divides in him and Connie that he's grappling with. Lars leaving. Pearl will just blame herself. Garnet thinks she knows everything. And Amethyst is so mature now, having his struggles with everybody. I'm like, it makes sense. What would disconnect Stephen from Greg? And it's but it makes a lot of sense to go through that phase where you turn the blame on your parents. You could have done things better. You could have done things differently. It's very easy to do that until you yourself realize that your parents are people too. They're going to make mistakes. That doesn't excuse all mistakes a parent could make. Greg, his parenting style or lack thereof was an overcorrection from being so stifled, and he didn't want that for Stephen. And then on top of that too, he's like, well, you're also a gem. And I think, it really touches on, well, Stephen was kind of denied being part human. Maybe he'd have an easier time, talking to other people, and maybe he wouldn't have jumped the gun with the proposal if he understood how relationships worked more. It's interesting because if you think about it, we spend so much time learning about Homeworld and the Gem War and gems as a culture in general, the artifacts that they would go and find, the powers that Stephen has. We never learned about Earth. We live on Earth. I don't need to know what the beach is. I've at least seen pictures of it, and I kind of love that the show, maybe they all sat down and talked about, well, what did they feel like was missing, or what don't they like about their own show, and let's develop and work on that. It's very interesting. I loved the Not Bowie. It was a sneaky punch to the crotch to just start playing Dear Old Dad. I love that song. That kind of started to mess me up. Dude, I was convinced that Greg was gonna flat die. Funny enough, it's in the next episode, but the clip we got in the promo of Stephen with his hand in his pocket, I thought it was Stephen covering up an injury or something, but I thought it was him rushing to his mom's room so he could see his dad one more time, because he would watch his dad die or get sick or maybe get put in the hospital. And so he goes to see a version of his dad to try to cope with it, which I'm glad that's not the case. I just want you to know that it could have been a lot harder emotionally. I'm interested to know about those letters though. It sounds like Greg tried reaching out to his parents, and those letters could have been, you have a grandson, and they could have just flat ignored him. It doesn't even look like they opened those letters. I guarantee you there's another layer here. And there was even a moment, it's strange. I'm jumping the gun a bit. I'm still trying to figure out why Stephen's new shield, the scary shield, why it's like a honeycomb shape. And I noticed it in his grandparents' living room. The drapes in the window make the same shape. I really want to know what the significance is there. It could just be a cool thing to draw. It could just be a way that they design backgrounds or something. It could be a coincidence. It's not like Greg hid Stephen from the doctors. I genuinely think he was afraid to or didn't think of it. You know what I mean? I think there's another layer to it. Someone brought up in the comments section last week, what if he was afraid of them doing experiments on Stephen because they find out that he's half not a human, definitely an alien. I feel like these two episodes set up the loose ends to start tying up in the 4-part finale next week, which brings up the biggest part of this weekend. I was sitting there, I'm not gonna lie. I sat there and I'm like, okay, so Greg wasn't the perfect dad. I'm actually very excited about that. I'd rather have complex characters that I admire who grow into who they are instead of just, oh, Greg was always just born a nice guy. Shape and grow into the human being you are now. Whatever mistakes he's made, unless he maliciously went, nah, I will not take you to the doctor because I don't want you to get better because I hate you, Stephen. Whatever mistakes he's made, it doesn't undo all the good he's done or all the understanding that he's capable of or all the times he has been there for Stephen or the gems or Rose, or I don't think it undoes all those things. If anything, I think it makes the character more gripping and more compelling. Also, I think it was to soften the blow for Fragments.
Still kind of processing Mr. Universe. Oh, Bismuth's gonna fix the van that drives into Hearts. I think I'm in denial. Whoa. Oh, Oh, I'm not okay.
Do something about this before someone gets hurt.
Okay, now it's too much. Jasper.
They're afraid of your power.
The Pixar character model or character archetype.
They want you to feel bad for being yourself.
Destroy that weakling tree.
No!
No. Yay. Steven, heal it.
Quit helping the local ecosystem recover! Show me!
Save the bees, Steven.
I'm stronger than the ones who want to hold you back.
No, there's a whole song about how you're not stronger than Garnet.
Lesson 2! Shut up!
Okay, Dragon Ball Z. I see you.
Guess my training starts now.
Very Gohan Piccolo vibes. We don't have to drop a boulder on him. Oh, and how long has he been out there? Whoa. Did we time jump again?
Not bad for 3 days of work.
What?
I'm ready. For our rematch.
Yeah, we're going for Dragon Ball vibes. Please don't turn him into a super villain. I swear to God. I swear to God. Stop. Make it 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 stop.
You're right, Jasper. I have been holding back.
Steven, where have you been? We've looked everywhere for you.
Not now!
No fucking Oh my God. Is Cheers like his mom? Holy Are you kidding me right now?
I'm so sorry. I should have stopped. I just wasn't thinking. I bow to your strength, my diamond.
No. What the My boy killed somebody. My tummy hurts.
Slap me in the ass. How did I not see that coming? Fragments makes so much sense. The episode title. F***ing Fragments. Steven Universe killed somebody. That doesn't feel real. It's hard because we don't get a complete thought here. They want to build up for the finale. Me. Again, playing on the theme of overcorrection, now that everyone knows that something's wrong with Steven and that someone needs to talk to Steven, now that's all everyone wants to do is like get right up in the business, get their hands dirty and like start talking to Steven. We all need to sit, we're all together, we're all gonna talk. Pearl wants to figure it out. That's very Pearl. Amethyst is taking a casual approach. Garnet's trying to be like a moderate, stern parental figure, and Pearl is freaking out. So now everybody wants to talk to Steven now, and it's that, again, that overcorrection. I think they all kind of blame themselves in a sense, because clearly he was going through so much, and yes, he was hiding it, and that's not other people's responsibility. They're his guardians, if nothing else. They're all family. It's a lot of panic on their end that they didn't raise him properly, or they also let him down. Seeing Steven lose control like that, yeah, like I remember yelling as a teenager and nobody understands you and convincing yourself that something must be wrong when it turns out like, no, you're just growing. Like this is just new experiences for you. Like this is part of growing up, but it doesn't feel like it because it's not like you can jump into someone else's brain and go, oh wow, you felt uncontrollable rage and uncontrollable sadness at the same time too? And it's very real. I do find it interesting and I want to see where it goes with bringing Jasper back. I understand it's an interesting divide in the Steven Universe fandom, how you feel about Jasper. But you can't deny Jasper did have a negative influence on Steven, and I'm interested to see where that goes. If there's any accountability there, if that's part of the arc. Okay, if you're gonna make that big of a move, the only thing I ask is that it doesn't feel like fan service. That didn't feel like fan service to me. That felt like it served a point. It's like the Pixar archetype, a version of who your hero would be. Power over all, isolation alone, destroy everything down to the grass. Very opposite of Steven. And I found that interesting to see what that opposite environment would have on Steven. Honestly made everything a little more palatable to make it more of an anime, especially the Dragon Ball Z influences there. Loved it. I think even Jasper's kind of head tilt though, it reminded me of Samurai Champloo. But like Steven changed again, and this time he's spicy Steven. I'm sorry. But I don't understand that transformation because he came back to normal at the end. Is this a different form? Was I right? Is he growing because he's turning into a diamond? Is this what Pink Diamond Steven looks like? He had the eyes, right? That like wahaha moment where his eyes, his whole face like straight up looked like angry Pink Diamond. That was nuts. I appreciate that we had moments of humor sprinkled in there, but I think it was all there to like make you think, oh, it's gonna end with him going, nah, we went too far. Teehee, I'm Steven. We need to find the middle ground. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? Impressionable sounds condescending, but how impressionable you can be at any point, but especially those stages in that age range. Like, I think we can really see that in Steven because now we have this spicy Steven, I guess. I think it was also there to show you that while Steven can perceive Greg's parenting tactics to be wrong, or you can be frustrated at Greg's tactics of being wrong, or the Gem's tactics of being wrong, I think it's also to show you that like there is a way that is directly, you intentionally pushed him to this point and then it made this. The way you can shape somebody, but good goddamn, because even you see it there at the end, Jasper pushing Steven too far killed her. Steven's powers just got scarier. I think this new form of Steven, spicy Steven, I think is a manifestation of the choice in front of you as a human being, as just an entity in the universe. You choose who you're going to be. Yes, you will be influenced by other people, but I think we're going to see a variant of what Steven could be. I think this is going to lead to Steven has to go to Homeworld, get this figured out. He went to a human doctor. Now it's time to go to a gem psychiatrist. I was disappointed for a hot second that Jasper came back. So I'm like, no, you cheapened it. Now we can bring back people from being shattered. You can bring back gems from the dead. This bothers me. First off, we established you can bring back people from the dead with Lars/Lion. But most of all, I think it goes even darker to bring Jasper back and call Steven my diamond. My diamond. I think Steven's gonna have a choice in front of him. While now he feels like he's not in control of this, at some point, whether it's from influence from others or choosing to work to understand and strive to better himself, I think he's gonna have a choice in front of him. Is he going to be this spicy Steven, or is he going to be sweet Steven, or a little bit of both? But I think this really humanizes the human experience. My energy's so dead right now. I think Steven's going to have to accept what happened and accept the fact that he's not always going to make the perfect decisions. His mom wasn't perfect. His dad's not perfect. The gems aren't perfect. Nobody is. And I think when he's finally able to accept that, I think he's going to be able to control his powers a little more, his emotions. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, but it does mean acknowledging and moving on and learning. I want to see how they handle this and channel this, and if Steven can come back from this. It's scary now to think about grabbing the head white diamond that's kind of glowing pink. If Steven does go to Homeworld to talk to the diamonds, and he has this spicy Steven side of him now, who knows? And it could turn out that this is the power of the pink diamond all along, and his mom couldn't control it. Because if she was also going through this stuff as Pink Diamond, she had to get her shit in check, and she couldn't until she came to Earth. So I'm wondering what if Steven's solution is staying on Homeworld or leaving Earth? There's more to being a diamond than we know, and especially to Pink Diamond. Oh, I loved that so much. It's so gripping and enriching. I can't wait to see what happens next. I feel like we need to be able to acknowledge the faults in each other so we can learn from our past mistakes to improve our future. Improving and acknowledging doesn't make what happened prior go away, but take measures so that it won't happen again. The responsibility of raising a child and becoming an adult. I'm very infatuated with that idea. I hope they stick the landing. But yeah, there you guys go. What do you guys think? What do you think of my thoughts? What did you think of the episodes? What do you think is gonna happen in the finale? But let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video if you did. Subscribe if you want more. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the extra content I have coming out right now. I have more coming next week. I'll be announcing another live stream date soon, so that way everyone gets a little more of a heads up, but I do want to do more of those. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone who showed up. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves, please.